views. Like Stephanie sat in that courtroom for over 8 hours. She took 79 pages of notes.
Tell them! Tell them!
Girly pop.
Go ahead and let them know. 79 pages for 8 hours straight. You're gonna hop off. You are. You're gonna hop off. One Instagram reel, one crustable, you're going to hop off. You're gonna do so. Hold on. Just for the ones. Bomba clad bunda!
Bomba clad!
Nah, I really can't. But seriously though, like, one Instagram reel, she's not committing misogynoir. She's not perpetuating the trauma that the victims went through. Tap in. And also, again, show me in the recent day, current day, the last time the Hun Miss Stephanie Sue did a mukbang. Please. For the girly pops, the Huns, and of course, the babes. I ain't gonna lie. Low spill at the tea party and...
Girly pop.
We gotta get into it. Y'all already know what it is. You seen it, telling thumbnail. One of the Huns, Miss Stephanie Sue, Miss Rotten Mango. Apparently, there's been some trouble, some drama, some tea going on with Hun. And the last time we checked her out, there was some junk going on with Nikocado Avocado with some beef they had going on back in, like, what, 2018 or some junk like that. Apparently, you know, he was trying to clarify some junk of the situation, but it was a bit mixy on that because it was just weird on why, like, he wouldn't have clarified that earlier or some jazz like that. But, yeah, we have videos on that. I'm going to leave it at the end card and end the video. Y'all know how that gets down. But within this situation, I seen that one of the Huns, you know we watching her all the time, Miss Coco's Krazi, Miss Coco Bird, posted a video on Miss Stephanie Sue. So, of course, for the Huns, we got to check it out at the tea party. A little spill, as we said. So, let's not waste any more time. Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed have everything every single time. Let's see what's going on with the Hun, Miss Stephanie Sue. Of course, like we said in the intro, she cooks every time. 3-star Michelin on the stove. Shout out to Hun, Miss Coco's Krazi, Miss Coco Pod. That's it, baby. Now we getting out. We got the disgusting Stephanie Sue situation. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG video. Down description at first link. Show the love with the Hun Miss Coco's Krazi again. And we don't got no time to waste. That's the air flip aside. Said you a lesbian girl, me too. And we need to hop in this boy.
This lady, she got on the internet talk about she got all of this money.
A Reddit post states Coco Crazy has made a video about Stephanie Sue. Stephanie Sue is saving true crime videos. Stephanie Sue uses disgusting titles with her sassy selfies.
We need to talk about how Stephanie Sue is getting to be like a little bit weird and maybe
perpetuating Missy Noir. Yeah, I know how I get now. Come on, man. I know how I get now. Yeah, I cannot. Will I even say it right? Hold on. Define Missy Noir. Yeah, I knew it was gonna spell that shit right. Oh, what the? Y'all see this, bro? Worst YouTube ever. Stop to about. Alright, hold on. Cause yeah, please define this for me. Let's see. Misogyny noir is a term coined by black feminist scholar Moya Bailey to describe a specific form of misogyny directed at black women where both racism and sexism is intersected. Okay? Now, negative stereotypes, discrimination, and violence against black women are shaped not just by gender bias, misogyny, but also by anti-blackness, racism. For example, the hyper-sexualization of black women, stereotypes about angry black women, or dismissing their pain in healthcare settings are expressions of misogyny noir. Would you like me to also explain how it works? Okay, no, we're good. Okay, well, we definitely would like to see some examples of this, if this is what we're saying.
even a little bit like anti-black.
Stephanie Sue is under a lot of fire right now on TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube. As you guys know, a little while ago, I made a video talking about Stephanie Sue and how she saved true crime. I gave my opinion on how she creates content that actually helps people and really just remains very respectful. And it turns out my opinion wasn't very popular, especially on Reddit, as I got posted on there. So I figured we might as well look through some of those comments and realize other people's perspective on Stephanie Sue, as well as the many videos made on TikTok and YouTube recently. As you guys...
Say no more.
No, I'm a pretty big Stephanie defender. There's a lot of us out here, so I'm gonna try to remain unbiased in this.
The hun Miss Stephanie Sue, Miss Rotten Mango, when it comes to the true crime, baby. And I know she had her like controversies and John like that. Just to give a quick TLDW, at least from Trilly's conjecture, at least what I know from the John. Yeah, like back in the day, obviously she used to do like mukbangs and John like that. That's how obviously she collabed with Nikocado Avocado, and then that's how like that whole drama started. But like yeah, the way she was doing it wasn't like too cool. So we're keeping it P before. Obviously, like, more or less, like, she was, like, doing, obviously, the mukbangs and John, stuffing face, you know, joking around, laughing, not really taking, like, the, obviously, true crime aspect, the serious parts of it, as seriously as you would want. But, obviously, over time, she corrected that, changing pattern behavior. We talk about this all the time. You see your mistakes, you see the things you did wrong. If you can remedy it, obviously, try to do so. But if you can't, moving forward, obviously you want to do better and not make the same mistakes. So from there on, obviously she went on to do Rotten Mango, and then like the way she been making the videos on Rotten Mango, boy, that's woo! I don't care, call it bias, call it straight glaze. You know, they already call it Trilly the sweeper for like, you know what I'm saying, EHD Cinematic Universe, but specifically for H3. They already call me a sweeper, bro, so it's whatever. But like, bro, at the very least she got top 3 best true crime, you know what I'm saying, content on the platform. Stamped. Stamped. They're gonna say glazer, but it's really stamped in though.
This video, even though I defend.
Like, have y'all seen the Diddy coverage? That joint was, bro, top tier from Miss Stephanie. So I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all admit, yo, because there was that whole. See, this is really about to get me to a rant, because then there was a whole like controversy. It was mad at her because she posted like an Instagram reel where she was talking about how she was in like, you know what I'm saying, the Diddy trial for like a whole 8-hour shift, had like 80, like what was it, 70, it was either 79, it was between 79 and 81 pages, like, or whatever that she wrote down. Like, yo, she was really putting the work in on that jazz, and the heads was pissed because she was outside like with a crustable or some shit, or an uncrustable, you know, like the peanut butter jelly shits. Like, yo, it was a whole lot of job. But overall, right now, Rotten Mango true crime,
a lot, as you know, and try to look at people's perspective and remain respectful. I ask you to all do that in the comments too. Please remain
booyah, exactly. This is what I was talking about.
Respectful to everyone featured in this video. Do not go and send them hate.
Booyah. Oh, okay, hold on. Did y'all see the crustable?
I ask you to all do that in the comments too. Please remain respectful to everyone featured in this video. Do not go and send them hate. But first, a quick announcement. Due to our good sales and our shirts and t-shirts, we have been able to donate $500 to Mustafa's GoFundMe. Check out a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or cute Coco plushie below. Link in description, and you will be able to help Mustafa and his family and be part of the reason why his family is able to have hope during these awful times in Palestine.
He calls himself the Playboy ancestor. This is how he runs his tens of millions of followers on Douyin. He's teaching guys.
I'll make this summary on Stephanie very brief because most of us know who she is. She's a YouTube commentator and podcaster who makes true crime videos as well as videos about celebrity drama. She has 2 different channels, which I really like that she separates the two, because putting them next to each other would just feel kind of disrespectful. So I really like that. She calls her crime channel Rotten Mango. It is incredibly popular. It does insanely well chart-wise, competing with like the top ones in the nation, and overall she's well respected. So it did come as a surprise to me when my video actually got some attention on a YouTube drama subreddit, and it got about 300 upvotes, but there were a lot of comments and they really disagreed with my perspective on Stephanie Sue, and they found her problematic. But first we'll look at some videos.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Before we really get into those comments.
When Stephanie said so, stepped on the scene, I was like, ooh, new character unlocked. And I'm not gonna lie, she was entertaining because I called her when she first ever went live. But before I say anything that I'm about to say, remember, you are the one that pay for Gorgeous Doll's subscription so you can find out whether she was talking about you or not. If you would have never came on the internet talking about Gorgeous Doll and trying to defend yourself when she never even said your name, if you would have never did that.
So while most of the videos focus on their arguments against Stephanie Sue's true crime coverage, some people were annoyed with drama she got in on her other channel, such as this YouTuber / TikToker who was talking about how they were very annoyed with apparently Stephanie Sue lying in the drama, and she's the one that started it, which most of us, or some of us, probably don't really know what's going on. It's just a drama that happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here. Shit. Blanking from Trill. Ooh, really never beating the dumbass allegations. But in this one, they can't blame me. We got no conjecture. What do we say all the time? Le context. We gonna need that.
And a little bit ago, but apparently some people were very annoyed because they saw Stephanie as the problem creator. Again, not as important as the true crime coverage we're about to get into, but this did set a lot of people off.
I wouldn't even know who you were, so let's proceed. Now, this lady is crazy, bro. She's crazy. This lady, she got on the internet talk about she got all of this money. She makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, like in the span of I don't know how long. She works for a law firm and she's in school to be a lawyer. All of this stuff, right? Same shit that Gorgeous Doll was saying, right? The only difference is she have a couple certificates that backs hers up.
Think of this as like the lighter coverage. This person,
like degrees, I'm assuming she means.
Person just kind of personally is angry, probably more of a fan of the other creator. So this one isn't something that would really create a wave of criticism / hate, but there was
Like, even if they're like, the thing is though, like we go through this like all the time, because there's a thing with obviously drama slops and teas on the commentary community of like, yeah, you just don't like us, yada yada, it'd be like that. But like, if there's like truly a basis on which like there's actual lies of fact going on, it's like, yo, that's when we really get into it. See, that's where it's like, okay, when can we substantiate what is factually a lie and like what is not? That's just where I'm at.
a different genre that would kind of create more attention towards that specific topic.
We need to talk about how Stephanie Sue is kind of like getting
This shit is what I really want to talk about. Like, I need to see some examples of this.
to be like a little bit weird and maybe even a little bit like anti-black, especially anti-black women,
I'm hoping you're gonna substantiate this, huh?
in the way that she is covering the Diddy trial right now. So
Oh my god, of course it was about the Diddy trial.
on her videos, like there was one where she's like spinning around outside like just a girl eating a PB&J, like while
Yes, because oh my fucking god, it looks like we're ranting already. That's tough. Hun. If you are sitting there in a trial room, courtroom or whatever, taking notes for 8 hours straight, I'm not gonna blame you if you get outside, you go enjoy a little crustable. How does her doing that make her anti-black? Let's keep going.
hearing like all these horrific things that Diddy did. And Diddy did some pretty horrific things.
I'm glad we acknowledged that. And the horrific things he did, yeah, the U.S. court system failed the fuck out of us. So let's keep acknowledging that too.
And I think that just speaks to the larger problem of how society does not care when the abuse is done towards specifically black women.
What? What? Yo, we're talking about P. Diddy Dizzler. I'm trying to figure where, yo, maybe I'm dumb as hell. I be telling you all the time, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You know, truly never be beating the dumbass allegations. How is her coverage of Diddy? And better yet, what part specifically? Again, this is what I'm saying. I'm hoping we go substantiate this, add some context to where Miss Stephanie Sue, she's being misogynoir, she's being anti-black within her coverage of Diddy. Well, I'm not seeing it because she was in a courtroom fucking getting 79, 80 pages of notes, and then for 8 hours straight, mind you, and then went to go have a crustable? Oh, damn, bro. It's because she posted as a reel. Like, bro, call me again a glazer? What's her name? Like, you really sweeping up? But I'm just not seeing it. I gotta see more of this, like, substantiating anti-black. Like, what?
Look at that clip in a second. That did spark a lot of controversy because people saw it as her not taking the situation seriously. And as we know, in the past, Stephanie Sue has, when it came especially towards true crime, she was making mukbangs and it was seen as very insensitive, but she has pretty much changed since then.
This is
Yo, they're still mad about this shit? Bro, fucking... Yo, can we talk about how Diddy... Yo, the literal the worst shit he did, he's not guilty on that shit, but he's guilty on the lightest shit that he's really not even gonna get shit for. Yo, didn't they lessen down his fucking sentence and all this shit? Yo, 1,000 bottles? Oh my fucking god, there's no way. This shit is like, yo, that shit be blowing my fucking mind, bro.
a very serious trial. There are people who were abused, people who were R-worded, like S.A. This trial has some of the deepest, darkest, most horrific parts of people's
Why the fuck is Diddy not staying in jail for mad long? Let's talk. Oh my god, bro. There's no way.
life that are like being put on display. And I think it's
And let's not get it twisted, because I know some heads, yo, they gonna really chop box me out with it. But she's being disrespectful towards the victims and all that in this situation. I can't even believe this, John. You know what, let me even sidebar what I'm about to say. Because some heads' coverage of it can be, in some levels, disrespectful towards victims. In my personal opinion, that's not what Miss Stephanie Sue is doing. But... again, call me biased or whatever. I know. But again, I'm sure through this we'll get into that. Sidebar to that. Going back. No, better yet, not sidebar to that. Going back to my main sidebar before that sidebar. Who the fuck do you think is more disrespectful towards the victims? The Hun, Miss Stephanie Sue, Miss Rotten Mango, or fucking Diddy? What the fuck? Bruh, I'm sorry. They gonna say I'm disrespectful. I'm sorry. Like girly pop.
Girly pop.
Hun, I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna keep hearing you out. But there's no fucking way right now.
It's weird for her to go outside of the courtroom and like spin around and I'm just a girl and like do all these little memes about something that traumatized. And
she had some of the best coverage of this situation. I can't believe they still pissed about it.
Actually probably brought
5/11? Is that this year? Like about 4 months ago?
to the end of a couple of people's lives.
Now, I see this girl's perspective. I'm not going to say it's invalid. I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with this, and I'm not going to like sit here and pretend like she's completely wrong here, because not even specifically talking about Stephanie Sue, we do have a problem on YouTube, especially with other YouTubers.
I just want her to substantiate it more. Like, I'm sorry if that makes me an asshole, but I need her to substantiate this more. Because Stephanie Sue went outside and ate a Crustable does not mean she completely is disrespecting all the victims within the Diddy situation, like, in an overall regard. There is no way you can tell me she didn't give a fuck. She was just spitting on the victims and all that shit because she went out to go eat a Crustable? That's misogynoir? That's anti-black? Are y'all...
They just are so insensitive when they talk about crime, and it's really sad to me because a lot of them were originally really good YouTubers, and I'm not going to name drop any.
Trust, like, I totally understand that too. Some heads are just doing this shit like it's slop or whatever just to churn out like your true crime content because, yo, people really love that type of content so they can farm it and make a lot of ad revenue. Trust me, I understand that. That is not what Miss Stephanie Sue is doing. Not on Ryan Mango. See, that's what, like, nah. We have to start substantiating these Jones.
But some of you people know who I'm talking about. This one YouTuber who usually just like makes funny, silly videos is now like started recently to make true crime videos. And it's just like their intros are insensitive. They're just like jokey. The titles are insensitive. Like,
I'm trying to think of who this could be, but I'm literally blanking.
A lot of people that cover true crime do it because it makes money, but they just don't do it well at all. And that's kind of a problem we're
See that? Thank you. Thank you to the Hun Miss Coco's Crazy. Stay hydrated. I know y'all can't see the water bottle. Oh, yo. Yo, hold on. Yo, that's actually hilarious. But seriously though, like she just said, like the Hun Miss Coco's Crazy just said, yeah, true crime content on YouTube pays a lot. For heads that don't know, Trilly Jalooper. Oh boy. The slimiest when we're talking about YouTube analytics and/or like, you know what I'm saying, back-end analytics and stuff like that. Yo, true crime content makes a lot of cheese. A lot of people like the topic, again, and genre of true crime content. So if a lot of people are watching that jazz, especially if you make really long videos or like, you know what I'm saying, extensive videos on that boy, YouTube is going to put up what's called your ad revenue. Ad revenue is how much you make from YouTube videos, right? So if you are turning a lot of this out and not really putting that much effort into it because you're just churning it out, then you're going to make a fuckload of money. Truly is what what the community would like to call, or fucking Hassan.
Fuck it, I'm saying it.
A slop tuber, but I'm gonna fully embrace that boy because what I would define as slop is like low effort content that you can obviously like post a lot of or whatever, right? That's why, that's fucking slop tubers, right wing mega grifter slop tubers, all this different type of beat, right? So like, yeah, on that tip, it's kind of like in the motion of that. Obviously, when you're covering more true crime and you're covering this consistently, like you're gonna want to keep the facts straight, like especially on this, you're dealing with like, you know, hefty cases, all this type of beat. So doing it in more of the Trilly slop tuber motion in true crime, not that good. Not that good. You know what I'm saying? This is another thing in like the commentary drama slob T community. Like obviously you still want to keep your facts straight here, like context, all this different type of being as much like, you know what I'm saying, proof, substantial proof, especially that you want to. But like if you're going into true crime, real cases, like not that stuff in the commentary community isn't real cases too, because trust me, a lot of stuff has led to those. Sidebarring that. But you're going into like true crime and all that, especially like, yo, you gonna want to really put, you know, your means into you want to really put some, not even like be disrespectful, but some sauce. Like, yeah, let's put some quality in that boy. And I could totally understand other heads doing that, but Rotten Mango, Miss Stephanie Sue, again, Glaze, it's just not that, bro. That's quality content, baby. Be mad.
So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like her opinion's immediately invalid, because people have a right to express their opinions on what they feel like.
And I agree, you sure do. But I also have a right to express my opinions of disagreeing and asking you for context and substantial proof. Because again, she's saying misogynoir, she's saying anti-black. I'm sorry, the Hun Miss Stephanie Sue going outside and eating her Crustable is not, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, not overall disrespectful to the victims, and definitely not anti-black. That doesn't make any sense. So, at least from what we've seen from that TikTok in the Hun Miss Coco's Crazy video, I don't agree.
like is disrespectful.
And this is not the first time that I've seen like something weird from Stephanie Sue. I think it's weird that she runs a true crime. I honestly, as someone who I guess would say like, I think crime and like forensics are interesting just maybe from like a medical standpoint, like being a medical student, like I like to hear about like the forensics of it. But to hear the like gruesome details about like what was done to the victims, I find it to be incredibly weird.
I can see why.
No, I could understand on the factor, but like it depends on what perspective it is, I guess, like going into it, because I can understand if it makes you like squeamish or like it makes you like kind of off-putting, and that's why Heads put a lot of disclaimers and stuff like that. Funny enough, talking about disclaimers for some other things. Anyway, sidebarring that, but that's why like Heads obviously talk about this. But again, when you're getting into true crime, especially like in this genre, this is why Heads do put disclaimers like that. Like, you know, you got to know what you're getting into. So if you find it weird, they tell you the content is going to be off-putting. You probably shouldn't watch it. That's going to bother you. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean overall that Heads can't or shouldn't make true crime content. You know what I mean? Because then this goes back to what we were just saying earlier. If they put quality content out, Miss Stephanie Sue, my personal opinion, or whatever, right? Glazer, or not direct Glazer, but you know what I'm saying, they're gonna call me Glazer. If you put quality into that boy, then I feel like it's good, because like you're obviously showing passion, and like obviously you're trying to get the most facts you can, all this type of stuff, like then it's fire. But if you're doing slop tube in true crime, then yeah, probably not that fire. Like
people might see it as weird because sometimes her titles are kind of like graphic at times and stuff like that. But I do believe that Stephanie Sue truly does care. I know
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, she obviously puts passion into where she cares about this, John. If she didn't, then she wouldn't obviously have grown the page as big as that has gotten, and still will continue to grow. Like
that we've talked about before on former channels. I could be wrong. I don't know her obviously, but like she does actually do things to help the victims. Like she will literally have fundraisers. She'll help raise money. Like there's so many different things she does.
What did that say?
She do things to help the victims. Like she will literally have fundraisers.
Just to show how she's changed, okay.
She'll help raise money. Like there's so many different things she does that shows that like she's not just in it solely for the money. Sure, maybe that's just to like make herself look good. Who knows? Who knows what her true motive of it is? But what I'm trying to say is like she does more than just kind of.
Oh my God, it's the same things every time. Yo, I'm sorry for the Huns.
Girly pop.
Some of y'all gotta understand this, because this is like motherfuckers like Hassan don't understand this shit. If you make a YouTube channel, a TikTok, and anything, right? 99.95, I'll say. If you get to the parameters of being able to monetize it, you are going to say, okay. You are not just doing this, boy, for the love of the game at some point. You're not. Heads are gonna accept this. If you want to call them grifters, go ahead. But I'm so tired of that, John, bro. Like, it's truly annoying. They're like, yeah, bro, right-wing mega grifter slop tubers. Oh, you're just a grifter. You doing this? Nah, bro. You can tell when the grift is real. Hassan!
Fuck it. I'm saying it.
You can tell when the grift is real. Like, come on, bro. That John is so annoying. Like, yo, bro, they're only doing it for the cheese. Yeah. Yes. And you know what? 99 again, 0.9. Many platforms are also doing it for the cheese. Like, bro,
talk about it. She does
that
more
John
than
is
just
so
like
annoying.
say, oh, this happened. That's my story. Thanks, guys.
That people really, really lean into that that genre of, you know, podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever. And I think Stephanie Sue specifically, she runs a podcast called The Rotten Mango.
She indeed does.
She sits down, she eats mukbang, she's kind of like giggling, laughing along, like, I can't even believe this is real, like true crime.
John doesn't do that, John, anymore.
And she's like describing like horrific crimes, like ways that people are being unalived horrifically, ways that people are being essayed horrifically.
Not anymore. She did do
exactly. That's what I'm saying. She don't even do that, Joe, no more. So now we just spread a misinformation. You're talking about Jones that happened years ago. Again, changing patterns.
that once, and that was wrong. I fully just
like, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Not like that up. Bro, for my One Piece heads, Future cited that. I'm like, bro, nah, now we're just spreading misinformation. Like,
disagree with that. People criticized her, and rightfully so. She did get harshly criticized for it, but she doesn't do that anymore. Her podcast,
precisely.
She never does mukbangs on it when it talks about crime, because I think she's realized it's pretty insensitive. So I think this point is a little bit more outdated than the rest, but I can see why she'd be mad.
No, it's just straight up outdated. Like,
At the former videos, but she doesn't really do that currently. So I don't know why you'd bring this up when it's kind of like something she did years ago.
No, but no, that's just my opinion. I'm like, like, no, that's not, because that's like you're just spreading misinformation, because it is a factual thing that yes, she does not do like mukbangs on the Rotten Mango John no more. So and that's how they try to box you out. I'm like, bro, I'm not giving y'all not a fucking inch, bro. Y'all gonna take a mile every time. It's like, bro, never again. They'll try to get this off. No, that was just my opinion, no, but your opinion is blatantly like and factually wrong. Like it's like what?
And she's doing it in the midst of like, you know, doing ads for like diapers or doing ads for like laundry.
Please show me an example of this in the current day. Like
Detergent. And it's just very weird, the commodification of the literal loss of life and trauma that some of these victims
show me an example of this in the current day.
Go through. And I also think it's weird that she even has access to this case. Like, I know that she's a podcaster, but as far as I've checked her credentials, like, she's not a
they allowed her in.
Real journalist. So like, if you're not a real journalist, why are they letting her in the courtroom?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, real journalists these days are fucking dog shit. I'll tell you straight up, like, yo, in my personal opinion, but yeah, have you seen the hun Miss Taylor Lorenz?
Girly pop.
Yeah, journalistic integrity these days looking pretty terrible. So I'm not gonna lie to you again. I'm gonna confide in and call it Glaze once more. In Miss Stephanie Sue, who again we're seeing has a track record. We've seen her again, more human side. She has gotten criticisms, all this different type of jazz. She has changed about her behavior, improved her content. The quality of it has truly risen. They gave her an opportunity to cover the case. I'm going to look at her info, and personally, again, trust that boy as a source. If you do not, hun, again, that's your opinion. If you don't trust her journalistic integrity, that's fair for you. But saying all this different shit, like, again, she's anti-black and misogynoir and, like, making fun of the victims within this, John, I'm gonna say it's a no from me, hun. It's a no from me. Like,
to really show what she was talking about, let's see the clip quick that has caused quite a lot of controversy, even now. And I know some people are going to be saying, this happened months ago. This video isn't just about the Diddy case, okay? These are fairly recent videos. There's more recent videos surrounding this. But this is kind of what began the recent kind of backlash towards Stephanie Sue.
I just spent 8 hours in a room with Diddy. This is my first time leaving the house in 3 months, and I'm at a federal courthouse in New York City. This is day 2 of jury selection for Diddy's trial, and it was, okay, listen, there's no video cameras allowed, there's nothing, it's not being live streamed, and there's only 3 rows of press that were allowed inside. Listen, the sketch artists are so good, but something about seeing him in person, in the same room, was so intense.
This isn't the only thing she posted out of the courtroom, but I don't think she meant to be, like, insensitive. I don't think that's what her goal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is bro, this is legitimately like making a mountain out of a molehill, bro. Like, I can't, bro. There's no fucking way. There's no way that like someone's gonna look me in my face and tell me that from that video, yup, the Miss Stephanie Sue, she doesn't give a fuck about the victims. Fuck them. Straight want to be disrespectful. Yup, don't give a fuck about their trauma. Nothing. There's no... Look me in my face and tell me that. Go ahead. Right now. I know I can't hear you, but go ahead and say it to me. You don't believe that. Like, come the fuck on.
I think more of what she was trying to do, she was just really, I think passionate is the word for it. I think she was just really kind of, like, I wouldn't even say excited, like she wasn't happy about it, but you know, like that feeling like when you're in a really stressful environment, maybe something like that, like she's just like kind of...
It's like relieving. Again, she just got out of being in that courtroom for 8 hours straight, taking 80 pages of notes. Again, she wanted to have a snack and all that. Like, bro. Nope. She disrespected the victim. She doesn't give a shit about them.
Like, not exactly excited, but you know what word I'm going for. Like, she's, like, really kind of jumpy from the situation. Just really wants to share it, and it comes off probably to some people as, like, enjoying it or, like, not taking it seriously. But I think she was just really, like, amped up. Is that the right word?
He would turn around and make eye contact with, like, each members of the press and just, like, everyone in the courthouse. And the way that we can describe the way he looks, because there's no pictures allowed, so we don't really know, but the way he looks is... Okay, we were having debates about this during lunch, but it's like, you know koalas when they get fuzzy? Like if it's really humid and they have like very fuzzy grayish white hair.
Oh, I remember this now, yo. Now it's starting to flood back, yo. They were pissed because she was comparing him to a koala. I remember this shit, bro.
Kind of is reminiscent to that, but let me tell you, the way he looks at every single person in that courtroom is the most intense thing ever. I feel like he's challenging people to break eye contact first.
Imagine if you were like one of the few people that witnessed this. Sometimes after something crazy happens, you know how you like run to someone and you say something kind of crazy, like you say something you wouldn't normally say when something insane happens. I think that's kind of one of these situations, is she just got out of the courtroom and she's just trying to talk about something, but it probably doesn't come off like the exactly perfect way that she probably meant to say it, because she's just so like rushed. She probably feels like a rush in her brain because she just saw someone who has been talked about for years, has done all these insanely awful things. So she's probably just quickly describing how she felt at the moment. It comes off as, oh, you're not taking it seriously. I think she's taking it pretty seriously. It's just,
Again, if you want to say in that video she's not taking it seriously, sure, that's your opinion. But guess what? Look at the Rotten Mango page and look at the coverage. That's taking it seriously. Go ahead and look there and tell me I'm wrong. But then again, that would just be in our opinions, right? Tough.
one of those things. So in this, I'm probably on her side mostly, but I do respect the person who made that TikTok, because that person did have a controversial opinion, but they expressed it and expressed their...
Yeah, they did, but they didn't substantiate it as best as I would like. Again, she said she's perpetuating misogyny. How the fuck do you say this? Misogyny. Yeah, it's misogyny noir. Like, legitimate. Hold on, I'll put it back on the screen. This John, she said she's perpetuating this. I disagree. I'm not gonna lie, straight up disagree with that. And also, she was perpetuating like the laughing at the trick. Not laughing. What exactly was it? Because I'm not trying to spread misinformation. Where are we at in the video? 12:29. Yeah, and perpetuating trauma towards victims. I ain't see that either. So on that, at least with that part of the caption, John, I'ma definitely disagree with that for sure. But hey, that's Hun's opinion. I feel that heftily. Hold on, 12:29.
Feelings.
Your favorite influencer or YouTuber who does mukbang videos and then talks about gruesome deaths of women for like 40 minutes at the same time is not a journalist. Like, I'm sorry, but
When is the last time y'all have watched Rotten Mango? I feel like that's a fair question to ask. Am I not allowed to ask that question? No, I gotta shut the fuck up. Alright, say no more. Say no more.
Stephanie So doing that whole just a girl eating a PB&J outside the Diddy trial.
Damn, like you just showing the context for me. Great. Just a girl eating her mushy PB&J outside the federal courthouse after spending 8 hours in the same room as Diddy, taking 79 pages of notes because cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom, and I know you need to know what's happening. Again. Oh my god. I'm not even explaining this shit. The context is again here. She gets out of the courtroom. Yeah, she's been in like this like stressful situation, taking notes the whole time, and it's showing. Yes, she got out. She's happy to have a fucking crustable. She's not sitting here giddy, joyful that the victims have gone through traumatic situations, all that shit. And by the way, again, if you want to be mad at somebody, can we be mad at the fucking the court system? Bro, they basically letting Diddy off, bro. This is some bullshit. Like, again, I don't. Not Miss Stephanie. She was insensitive. All that shit.
Was extremely tone deaf.
Okay, so I've been seeing on TikTok and on Twitter that some people are upset with Stephanie Sue because she posted a video where she was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and trolling around after being in a courtroom with Diddy for over 8 hours. And no.
Children, full stop. It is deeply insensitive to be doing egg yolk while talking about the Diddy case.
Once again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Stephanie Sue should be off scot-free because she's a very good storyteller. She's very good at narrating things. I'm not going to pretend like she's like should never be criticized ever in her life. No, but like
she can absolutely be criticized. And again, as we've seen in her career, she has been very harshly criticized before. But this hot take, truly, I guess, is a nothing burger. In comparison to the entire case itself, especially the end result, we need to really talk about that. Not, oh my god, the Miss Stephanie Sue, she ate a crustable after being in, again, a stressful situation where she took notes for 8 hours straight. Like, 79 pages of notes, by the way. Like, what? There's no way. I'm sorry, bro.
Feel like
some heads are gonna be mad at me, bro. I'm telling you. They just gonna have to be mad, bro. I'm telling you, like, again, her whole entire coverage of this, top tier, some of the best Johns, and we are not even discussing some of the troubles her and her team went through on this John too. Like, we ain't even start talking about that. Like, bro, I'm gonna keep it hush, because it's not even about her drama though, bro. We have to criticize the Miss Stephanie Sue. Facts, bro. She was insensitive as hell.
To be as tone deaf as like some people seem to think she was. I think once again it's just like one of those situations. 8 hours in a courtroom, she just probably the entire time was like, I really want to talk about this. I really want to talk about this. Sure, I could be wrong, but she probably just got out, filmed the video quickly, trying to describe all the feelings she had that entire time, and it did come off as kind of insensitive.
Okay, so I've been seeing on TikTok and on Twitter that some people are upset with Stephanie Sue because she posted a video where she was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and trolling around after being in a courtroom with Diddy for over 8 hours. And no. Not on my watch. Like, Stephanie Sue is literally the most unproblematic creator I know, and I've been watching her content for over 6 years. And for y'all to try to cancel her over this is ridiculous.
Girly pop.
Girly pop.
I agree 100%, hun. Facts.
Redditors who responded to my video
Stamped.
Reddit were saying things like there's no such thing as ethical true crime coverage, and that is definitely an opinion you can have. I'm not going to pretend like that's an...
Sure. That shit is still gonna be on YouTube. What now? Let's talk about the specific creators of their coverage of this, John. Because no matter what, whether you feel it's not ethical to have true crime on YouTube or other platforms, it's gonna be there. So you're just gonna keep crying about it. Like, that John is crazy. Because heads be like, yo, it's just heads opinion, all this, John. I'm gonna tell you a fact, though. Because, again, your opinion is fair, sure. But it's factually gonna be on these platforms, so now what? Are we gonna do petitions and stuff to get it taken down? Like, I'm sorry, we gotta start moving forward. We not about to just keep harping on the same John getting nowhere. Like, I don't... What? Like, bro, I can't. Anyway, again, back to my main point. Let's cover the individual heads that are doing this, Sean. If somebody's true crime coverage is terrible, they're being disingenuous, disrespecting the victims and all that shit, let's get them gone. I feel it. Let's take them down. Yo, I'm not trying to see this slop. It's already enough brain rot and shit on TikTok, all this beat. You know what I'm saying? That is not Rotten Mango, Miss Stephanie Sue. Like, bro, I'm telling these ads, bro. Yo, I'm telling, it's really the John, bro. It's really like, yo, you could really see this heftily with Kai Cenat too. Like, yo, it's either you're going to die the hero or be like live long enough to become the villain every time, every single time. Like,
invalid opinion. I can totally see that perspective, especially if you are a victim of something. It obviously will increase your
fuck, bro. I'm gonna hate when I'm gonna be going through this shit, bro.
Probably negativity towards these type of things. That's why I
always say I don't fuck with clout and all that shit, because you just get to the point where, bro, again, it's kind of like a derivative of the Luddy argument, where that 1% is always gonna be hating you, criticizing you for fucking everything. I already deal with that shit now. I could, oh my
understand
God.
that, but if you compare her to most true crime channels on average, she is a lot more respectful.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm not wasting time on these Johns, bro. Like, yo, there is some heads that are legitimately just slop true crime, churning this shit out for ad revenue, bro. Like, straight up, you can just look at it and tell immediately. That is not Ryan Mango.
Than they are. Like, I've watched a lot, and the only one that I could say kind of comes closer is relatively the same as Mr. Balm. The rest, almost all of them, are insane. Like, some of them will show, like, graphic images and, like, some over-exaggerated thing in the title, and it's just, like, it's awful right now. The state of true crime is awful on YouTube, so it's kind of refreshing to see someone who is at least decently respectful. So I feel like targeting her for something like this is a little bit like it could be someone a lot worse, doing a lot more disrespectful.
Exactly.
And I honestly find
it. Again, I'm still saying you can criticize the Miss Stephanie Sue. I'm not going full glazer, even though that's what they're gonna say it is. But I stay the same for everybody. If somebody does a genuine criticism, bad, yo, we gonna criticize that boy. Does it, in some situations, does it make them an overall evil? No. But specifically for this, John, criticism, hopefully they can remedy if they can. If they cannot, moving forward, I hope they're gonna do better. But I'm sorry, bro, sometimes in this, again, there's nothing burgers, and her eating that fucking Crustable on the John is a nothing burger. Y'all gonna have to take that to the chin, in my opinion. But y'all gonna have to take that shit to the chin, bro. That's another.
So funny when I come across videos and people are like, oh my God, Stephanie, what are you doing? Aren't you a mukbanger? Why are you calling yourself a journalist?
Yo, that shit is annoying, bro. I'm telling you, like, that shit is actually triggering. I'm like, aren't you a mukbanger? Motherfucker, when is the last time you watched her? 2018? You not watching. What are you talking about? Oh, my God. Yo, that job really sent me through the roof, bro.
You're just trying to use the Diddy case for content and views. It'd be like calling any news or media organization that covers the Diddy case that they're also using it for content.
Yo, I feel like I just elevated to a whole new dimension. Yo, mainstream media news outlets can straight up fucking spread lies and misinformation. But Stephanie Sue is not a journalist. I say no more. I'll take that one. Bro.
Views. Like, Stephanie sat in that courtroom for over 8 hours. She took 79 pages of notes.
Tell them! Tell Tell them!
Girly pop.
Go ahead and let them know. 79 pages for 8 hours straight. You're gonna hop off. You are. You're gonna hop off. One Instagram reel, one crustable, you're going to hop off. You're gonna do so. Hold on. Just for the ones. Bomba clad bunda!
Bomba clad!
Nah, I really can't. But seriously though, like, one Instagram reel, she's not committing misogynoir. She's not perpetuating the trauma that the victims went through. Tap in. And also, again, show me in the recent day, current day, the last time the Hun Miss Stephanie Sue did a mukbang. Please. Like, bro, what are we talking about? This John, it's ridiculous, bro.
And she did that for us. Not for herself. No, she did that for us, to keep us informed so that we know what's going on in the Diddy case.
And like, I have never seen someone genuinely put in so much effort to improve themselves from their past. Like, people just will not let it forget. Like, she's moved on. She literally, like, has a whole different setting when she talks about crime, a whole different channel. She never makes jokes in the intro. Do you know how many YouTubers begin their true crime videos, like, making jokes? My hair looks great today and stuff. Or on the thumbnails, they're, like, posing and trying to look, like, pretty and stuff. Do you know how many, like, genuinely awful channels there are? Compared to Stephanie Sue, like, they make her look like a literal saint. So here is what Reddit said a while ago. Coco Crazy calls out Haley Elizabeth for creating insensitive crime content in a new video, How Stephanie Sue Saved True Crime Videos. I remember someone making a post calling out Haley earlier this month for dead naming a victim. I've never saw people calling her out before, maybe I never ran into it, but I'm glad she's talked about now. I used to love watching her videos. I've never known that she did such little research. Did anyone else watch her videos? Here are some of the replies to the video. Stephanie Sue saving true crime videos, sarcastic question mark. 400 likes. Yeah, people forgot laughing my butt off. Hey, that's actually something called redemption. You know that people are able to redeem themselves, right?
Exactly. Again, I'll keep saying it. Change your patterns of behavior. There's also it's also the thing that Joe Barr says all the time. If you talk about it, where like the you are right now, you're gonna be a different you a year from now. The you are right now, you a different you from a year ago. Obviously, when she was making content, some of the jump was like back in 2018, you know what I'm saying, 2017 around this time, whatever. Yeah, it's been like 7 years. Like, I'm pretty sure she obviously changed about his behavior, going to move on, become a different person, change her style of content. Obviously, did that around Mango. Yeah, like it's just.
Yes, she did make awful content in the past. I swear, something I hate about the internet is like sometimes people selectively forget about things that genuinely problematic people do and let them keep their career, but when someone actually improves and does better and like fixes their problems, people never move on. It's like,
I'm telling you, everything is getting me to ethereal. It's so good. If you want to become a content creator, no you don't. Better yet, no you do. If you want to hop in the drama slob tea commentary, no the fuck you don't. Because they're gonna hold you to everything you've ever said. Ever. Everything. You could... EHDIA plus Cinematic Universe. Blazing. H3. Ethan. Pedo Troll account. 2010. I was 7 years fucking old. Yo, he's 40, bro. They are holding him to the fire. They're calling him a fucking pedophile because of this shit. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, they'll never let you, never. Especially heads that truly fucking hate you, whether they're like snarker bulls or just hater bulls, whatever. They will never let you ever live clips down, like, never. They'll never let you change as a person. So, yeah, again, if you are someone that cannot handle criticism, have anxiety because of criticism, all this different jazz, do not suggest being a content creator. Overall, yeah, still, because you'll get obviously you'll get like hate in whatever niche, but like, yeah, especially if you want to be a commentary drama slob tea.
Girl, that's in the past. Can we move on? Oh, people forgot. No, we didn't forget. We realized that she's a human and she makes mistakes. Another reply says, oh, look.
Another thing I say all the time, there ain't no such thing as a perfect person, wagwan. Like, there's no such thing. Like, and that's another problem. Like, heads will idolize some of these content creators, people just in the media, all these different jobs, as gods and think they can do no wrong. Like, yo, that's where you already failed. Like, yo, obviously you could still have like favorite creators like them and all that, but you still need to understand they're human. They can make mistakes, and you can acknowledge those mistakes. Take that in objectively, share out the criticism that needs to be shelved, genuine, as we always say, the difference between genuine and hate, and keep moving forward, especially if the content creator, oh god, in this day and age, if they shove out a good apology, they shove out a good one or whatever, like, you know what I mean, then obviously clear on, move on, however it is. If you don't accept their apology, basing on obviously clearly whatever that content creator may have done, then all you could say from there is just don't watch them. Like you either gonna hey, forgive them or not. Like, yeah, that's what we say. Like, yo, these heads, that's a whole nother thing too in like the spaces, bro. But yeah, that's a whole nother drama. Anyway, Shelvin is back. Super sidebarring it back to Miss Stephanie Sue. Yeah, like she's like moved on, bro. She does not do the mukbangs at John no more. Like, Rotten Mango obviously is very quality content, especially in true crime and all that. Her coverage of the Diddy John was some of the best coverage, obviously, of this, biasly, but definitely the best coverage on YouTube, biasly, in my opinion. And she did her thing with this John. Again, 79 pages of notes, 8 hours in the John. I'm sorry, not TikTok again. I mean, not TikTok, Instagram reel.
Two terrible people are fighting, and I don't know if they mean me and Haley Elizabeth, which we aren't fighting because I like just criticized her, and I mean she obviously didn't respond. I wouldn't respond if I were her. And maybe they mean Stephanie and that Haley. Like, I don't know what they mean. Maybe they likely mean me because they probably see me as a slop channel. Which, I mean, you can think what you think, but I'm just so confused because for fighting to happen, people have to go back and forth, and I just said Haley's insensitive, and that was that. Another one says Haley Elizabeth is one of the same insensitive true crime YouTubers like Stephanie Sue.
Whoa, brother, you gotta do my dip on your chip.
Who uses disgusting, sensational titles with their sassy self-respect plastered in the middle of the thumbnail. They're both awful and think true crime is a quick hobby rather than someone's traumatic event. I don't know how much I agree with this. I mean,
I'll just tell you straight up, I think it's obvious how I feel about that.
I don't think she puts her face there to like make a quick selfie. I think it's just so you know it's her video. Like,
oh man, I wonder whose fucking channel this is. Ah, shit, must be some other motherfucker, I don't know.
Commentary channels do, which I mean that's definitely debatable, but it's better than those have these people like seen true crime state recently? And I do agree that like true crime is something that like 99%, I'm gonna be so for real, 99% of people that cover true crime are not doing it right, and they're not doing it because they actually care. They're doing it for money, attention.
The money. I'm not even gonna say it for clout because, like, honestly, bro, again, if you do true crime content even on a basis, you probably will be successful. Obviously you're not gonna always be successful, but like if you put at least some level of decent effort into it, yeah, you'll probably do pretty good because again, people love true crime. That's a huge niche on this channel. But again, obviously, if you want to do that, let's cover it with quality. And not like some of these other heads that they're claiming that she is like
and they know it will get views, all that stuff. But I genuinely think Stephanie Sue out of
see, like when they think, yeah, like
they're doing it for money, attention, and they know it will get views.
When they talk about Stephanie Sue, they're talking about this version of her and not this version of her. Like,
are not doing it right, and they're not doing it because they actually care. They're doing it for money, attention, and they know it will get views, all that stuff. But I genuinely think Stephanie Sue out of all of them has pretty much redeemed herself, but I guess some people just don't forget.
No, arrest her now! Good. Somebody kill that baby! No!
Heather and Jesse, the sisters, they already have an idea of what happened to baby Benson, and they're ready to share it with the investigators. They are certain that the babysitter did this. I mean, it has to be the babysitter.
I believe that the right way to probably handle true crime is to just be really, 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 really respectful, not mention personal beliefs. And I know that Stephanie Sue does sometimes get kind of personal with some of this stuff, and at times I will admit that is something I will criticize towards her. I don't really like when she kind of gives her personal beliefs in it. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, see, man, I don't know how, I agree with the Honey Miss Coco's crazy, but I also disagree because in a sense, You know how I say all the time, like, you obviously going into like arguments, covering stuff, you want to be objective and not be like biased. Like, obviously, you want to be able to look at the other side, look at other perspectives and all that. But at the end of the day, to argue with myself against that, we're all ourselves. That's what I like. Oh my god! Like, see, it all leads back into the same Johns we like talking about, where it's like, yo, this is why you can't idolize heads, because you're never going to be them. You're only going to be yourself with your own biases, your own thought process, your own perspective, and all that type of beat. Obviously, it's good to try to be as unbiased as possible, to try to see as many perspectives as possible. But you're still gonna feel and think how you feel about situations, about everything. See, like that's where like it. This is why I say, with situations, try to stay to the facts as much as possible. Let's see the substantial proof. Let's see, you know what I'm saying, the facts, the evidence, all this different type of beat. And then from there, once we see all of that, the only thing you can go from there is, how do we feel about this? Consequences, whatever it may be, yada yada. That's stamped in for the Drama Slob T, commentary Drama Slob T community. That's stamped in for true crime. That's stamped in for a ton of things. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Because at the end of the day, everyone is themselves, so everyone's gonna have a little bit of personal bias, and then it kind of obviously will leak out a bit like this. But obviously, still, to the majority factor, if she's keeping it to the facts, especially in the true crime cases and things such, that's good. And then make it a little, you know, personality in there.
Avocado.
Even if some heads want to say, avocado.
If you watch her for a long time, you probably know what I mean. Just because that kind of messes with it, if you know what I mean. And once again, no hate towards her. I do enjoy her content, but sometimes I wish she could kind of make it a little bit like Mr. Ballin, where it's a little bit less subjective. This example I could think of is, I remember listening to one about this evil dude that like paid for submarines and things to be built, and he took this one lady in the submarine and ended her life. And the thing that really just made me kind of like annoyed watching it or listening to it was how she like spent most of the time kind of complaining about how he was just like paying for submarines to be made, so he wasn't actually inventing anything. And I totally hate the guy. I hate
I could understand that.
the guy so much. What I'm trying to say is,
because
like,
I'd be like, yeah, I think we need to focus on the part where, like, you know, back to the lobby, like, yo, it's on, like, what the fuck? Like,
she always makes her opinion very, very subjective at times. And I'm once again saying this with like all the love in the world. This is simply criticism. That like sometimes it feels like artificial. Like when she's talking about the victims, and sometimes when she's saying things like, they were so good at this and this, it's like, would you be saying that if they were the person ending people's lives, if you know what I mean? Like when you just add that much opinion, it doesn't feel as natural. Once again, do not take this as hate when I'm trying to say.
Wait, hold on.
When you just add that much opinion, it doesn't feel as natural.
I disagree with this line, but in a sense, like that, what the Hun Miss Coco's Crazy just said, but not in the sense of true crime. I disagree with that in the sense of like making content as an overall, because what she just said, like, here, we'll go over again.
If they were the person ending people's lives, if you know what I mean, like when you just add that much opinion, it doesn't feel as natural.
When you add that much opinion, it doesn't feel as natural. But if you don't add any opinion at all, whose opinion is it? So that would be my like initial question to that. But then I can obviously understand the other context. This is true crime, and like, yeah, you want to stay strictly to the facts because this is like true situations that have happened. But in an overall case, you got it, especially if you're in a commentary Drama Slob T, you got to add your opinion. That's the whole point. It's your commentary. Like,
once again, do not take this as hate. What I'm trying to say is that, of course, she isn't perfect today, but she has improved a lot. Let's get into some of the other videos critiquing her.
Many content creators, like Stephanie So, had an opportunity to be present and cover the entire trial. And somewhere amongst the mix, somehow Backlash removed itself from Diddy and somehow got aimed at Stephanie So. And specifically, viewers were upset at some TikToks that she made, some comments she made in the TikToks, and the way she went about covering the entire trial.
Another reason I think people were already just like ready to get mad about her coverage was because she has had a past, which once again, like, that's her past, and obviously most of us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, at what? Let me give y'all an example. Here's me. If the boss bought some snacks, right? And what's her name? And I ate her snacks, and she's upset about it. And then I bought her some new snacks, but she is still upset about this job. And then we go by, and it's been months, and I'm still buying her snacks, and she's upset about them snacks. At what point is it like, yo, she has to just get over it? Like, I'm sorry I ate the snacks, but like, boss, yo, we already got you mad snacks, we're way past this. This is where we're at, and that's what I'm saying, like, to give more reference to what I said earlier. yo, they're gonna hold you to everything you've ever done and said. They're never gonna let you change. That's really, like, I be telling heads, bro. Oh my God. They get into content creation and shit, and all they think about is the fucking money and the clout, but they never think about how that shit could really backfire on your ass.
Put it in her past, but where she made problematic videos, where she would do mukbangs, where she would just be rude and kind of just insensitive. Insensitive is kind of an understatement for what her old videos were, just very, very rude. But she's moved on past then, so it does kind of.
That's what I'm saying. The snacks, we already got you snacks. We, at some point, like, I already know, I'm not gonna eat your snacks no more. We're gonna keep getting you snacks. At some point, you gotta accept that, yeah, we changed, we're moving on, you're gonna do better. Like, when are some of these heads gonna accept that? Now we're seeing she's perpetuating misogyny noir. She doesn't care about the victims. What the fuck? Like,
sense that people would be ready to be mad at her because a lot of them have seen her as that same YouTuber.
She's not. You have to accept that. She's not. Like,
popular opinion, I hate true crime and scary movies. Like, when
that's a fair opinion to have. Hey, yo, there's some scary movies I'm not liking, even though I'm just sitting there like this for scary movies. Bro, y'all should have seen when I saw Final Destination Bloodlines, bro. I'm in the theater like these, bro. I'm in the theater like these, bro. I'm like, never.
Whenever my friends ask to be like, oh, like, let's watch a scary movie, I physically cannot do it.
But nah, like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, like, y'all remember before they really, I think, nah, these videos still on, but like, they just don't do as well. They definitely be getting like copyrighted and junk like that, or at least like they don't make as much cheese. But the Reddit Ask Me Jones or the Reddit stories, bro, oh my God, bro. Reddit, them Ask Me Reddit stories, yo, them Jones used to have you going crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. So those are the type of Jones that I like or whatever. Or like, y'all seen like the Mr. Nightmare stories and John like that? Nah, bruh. Straight nightmares. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, Mr. Nightmare, nah, he really just easily spawning them Johns for people, bro. It's really crazy. I don't know how you do it. It's really his voice though. But like, sidebar, like, I like Johns like that, but there's some like aspects of obviously like true crime and other things like of, you know, like the just crime niche and like, you know, all these different type of jazz that heads don't like, and that's fair. Like, that's super fair. But again, if we're saying like, yeah, I don't like true crime, therefore Stephanie Sue's content is trash, like, that's not gonna work for me. Like, you just gonna have to say you don't like true crime. That does not mean her content is bad. Like,
and I feel like the reason why is because it is so bad for my nervous system and my anxiety. Like, why would I sit there and actively like choose to get like scared and like anxious? Don't get me wrong, I've watched The Shining, The Conjuring, like a lot of classical like horror films because you can't live life without watching a Stanley Kubrick film. But if I had a choice, it would to be never to watch horror movies ever again. And also, I just don't think true crime is
girly pop.
Girly pop.
Nah, I feel you on that, Helen. I really do. I would just straight ask you, well, hun, what do you like to watch? Me personally, I like to watch animes and all that type of beat. I'm a One Piece lover, One Piece glazer. We know how I get down. But whatever you like to watch, hun, I suggest you just watch that. Yeah, like that's about it for you, hun. Like, I'm serious though. Like, I suggest you just watch that. Like, you're just if you don't like true crime, why are you even wasting your time making a video saying you hate true crime? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying she can't give her opinion, but she's just wasting her own time doing this. Like, I don't understand. You just keep watching whatever you're passionate about, you like to watch. Yo, again, I say it all the fucking time.
Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Yo, drama, slops, and teas, bro. Auxiliary, we gotta cover politics. You already know we're gonna have to cover Hassan, but am I watching Hassan in my free time? Fucking hell nah. So, hun, if you don't like true crime or you don't like scary movies, I don't think you should be watching them. You waste your time. Like,
entertaining because half of the times it's like violence, really harsh violence against women.
I can definitely understand.
Hun, don't watch the stuff.
And this woman wasn't the
It's gonna add to her anxiety. Like, I don't understand. Like,
Stephanie, don't take it as that way. This one just popped up when I was looking into videos that were really kind of blowing up, talking about Stephanie. And
that's what I'm saying. Her video's not attached to Stephanie Sue. Like, even with the example I was using earlier, saying like, oh, just because you don't like it doesn't mean like it's bad on Stephanie Sue. That's just an overall thing. Like, if anybody were to make that point, that was like the ethical true crime. Adding on to that point, like, okay, like it's okay, but the content's still gonna be there, so what are we gonna do now? Like, I don't again, I'm just gonna hope that people that do cover it good and have excellent coverage and stay to the facts and all this type of beat, seemingly for the most part, obviously what the hell Miss Stephanie Sue does. But yeah, we're not just gonna poof and make true crime stuff disappear off the algorithm overnight. If you think that's gonna happen, I don't even know what's on the press. That's not happening. Like,
like her. It was kind of with the rest, even though she didn't specifically say Stephanie. So this one's a little bit less relevant to specifically Stephanie, but really what she's trying to say in this video, and I do agree with this.
You know what's so funny? Better yet, like, you see how this is still on the alg? Jones like this, you can look back and see Jones like these, or whatever. Yes, these vids gonna stay on the algorithm. Y'all use these as examples to still criticize Miss Stephanie Sue. So just like these staying on the alg, the videos on an overall are staying on the alg. And unfortunately, even the shit ones. That's why I'm saying, again, condemn the bad ones and let's push up the good ones.
Bit less relevant to specifically Stephanie, but really what she's trying to say in this video, and I do agree with this, is that you should not, especially when you're watching true crime, get enjoyment off of hearing about specifically women, specifically any group of
Girly, girly, girly pop.
Yo, this junk called me so backwards. If you are watching a scary movie and you are getting personal pleasure off of seeing a hun like in a bad situation or shit like that, nigga, go fuck yourself. First, actually, I don't even know which bar. Well, yeah, go fuck yourself. But like, we gotta get you on a psyche valve. Like, we gotta get you on a psyche valve. This is crazy works we got going on here. I'm hearing this like, what? Like, nah, like, I'm not following. You have to direct me to these bulls because I'll be directing them to the authorities. Like, I'm actually, bro, how did we even get here? I don't understand. What bulls are watching scary movies on the tip of just wanting to see women get murdered, killed, harmed, or anything like that? We have to get these bulls, like, yo, nah. Nah. We gonna leave them where they at.
Group of, especially oppressed group, getting murdered brutally, and sometimes I feel like certain unlikable people in society kind of enjoy that for some reason, and that can be
yeah. And do I have to say it again? Them niggas are fucking weirdos. Them niggas are weird as shit.
It's for true crime.
So I don't understand how people can just watch it, like listen to the podcast of literally people getting like murdered and like while they're working out or like just going about their day. Like, I cannot do that. I don't know. Call me a scaredy cat.
Yo, that's it. Now, honestly, I feel, hun, and not to be on some narcissism shit to relate this back to myself, like, let's go over the list. Trilly's a loser, dumbass, never been his SC allegations, in his mother's basement. Shout out to Boss, by the way. We know, rotting down there. Yeah, going through that. But, like, this is how I feel when some heads be like, yeah, yo, Trilly, I just be watching you at work. Or, like, yo, we have you playing on the TV. I'm like, hey, watching my dumbass? Damn. Shit is crazy. I'm like, why? Like, when heads is working out, why? What the fuck? Shout out to our lovely audience. It's love, baby. It's love, baby. But like, yeah, no, so I can feel hun in a relation of like, yo, how are heads watching this type of stuff during these activities, all this type of genre? How do people watch this certain niche content or genre or whatever? But still, I would always say relate back to just because you may not feel that genre of content or whatever doesn't mean that like someone else might not. Now, obviously, barring the content being directly harmful. So again, if somebody is purely, like we're saying in this scenario, watching this content to see women be harmed, yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Nah. We'll be getting your ass out of here. Like, go ahead and fix that shit. Go ahead and fix that shit. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, bringing it back though, I can understand her like on that.
I am a huge hater of scary movies and true crime.
I do believe that people should just remain as respectful as possible, and it's really definitely a debatable thing. And let me know what you think in the comments. This is not for like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm really loving this video, man. This junk got me yapping crazy.
Engagement. It's more because I'm curious what people think of this. Do you think it is okay for true crime podcasts and true crime YouTubers to go into detail about what happened to the victim, to like show the pain they went through, or should they kind of dumb it down in a way out of respect?
Honestly, if I'm being fair with y'all, there's like two ways to look at this. This is like the moral way of looking at it, and then like the monetary way of looking at it. Going into hella detail on this shit, your video's getting demonetized. Like, yeah, if you go into that much detail, your video's getting red marked for sure. So most heads probably wouldn't go that deep just in a general basis. And if they were, like, for instance, they'd probably have a Patreon or some John like that where you could see like the fully uncensored video and stuff like that. So I would say on that factor, just financially, I doubt you would see that much gruesome shit unless the person is just like, fuck it, bro, fuck the ad rev, bro, we doing this street passion project. In which, if you're doing that, again, I'm gonna really pray that your content is like peak. But at that point, like, it just leads back into, okay, if your content is that good, you're gonna monetize this boy. So then it would already off basis, kind of like, it wouldn't even go that as far as I would think, or as far as you would think with some of these, you know what I mean? But yeah, it would just depend on the person.
Like, which one is better, do you think? I personally think it depends on the situation, because at some perspectives, I can see, like, if I were brutally, you know what, I maybe wouldn't want every little detail, but at the same time, maybe you don't want to dumb down so people don't know what you went through, you know? It's just like, she was then murdered. And it's like, well, I went through a lot of, like, suffering, you know? Like, so I can kind of see both sides of the situation.
For you page today, I saw a video of someone giving information about a little girl in Korea. Her name is Hano. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly. Hano's 8 years old. I read how her dad said she loves the group IVE and absolutely adores Wonyoung, collects all her photo cards. Will watch everything about her, even said how she wants to be like her when she grows up. Also saw a picture of her, cutest little girl, smile just full of joy, right? But unfortunately, yesterday, or probably 2 days ago now, she was her own teacher while she was at school. And I just want you to sit and guess at what that comment section looked like. One would think that when someone dies, heard at that, you know, they didn't die of old age. It wasn't natural causes. They died because another person, a monster, thought that they had the right to take their life away from them, that they had the right to cut their life short.
So funny. There's a recent situation where we're saying the same exact thing.
You would think that someone who is murdered, let alone a child, there would be some empathy.
It's fucking crazy that, like, yeah.
I'm not surprised that people lack empathy. I just feel like it has definitely...
Oh, yeah.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well. Like, yep. Learning empathy at the ripe old age of 32, huh, soy dubs?
Something, and I don't want to sound like that, like your grandma, like complaining about the internet, but like I think that has something to do with the internet, because it's so easy to hear about the most awful, horrific thing happening to like a kid that you just hear.
Oh yeah, nah, you get desensitized. Yeah, that's why, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck, like, yo, and that's again, like, in no disrespect to any victims or any situation. This is stuff like I say all the time, clarify all the time. It's not like obviously to say like I don't give a fuck or any of that shit, but it's like, yo. Do you know how many EDPs we done been dealing with? Like, bro, it's a fucking problem. But the factor of is, a lot of time, like, yeah, these fucking motherfuckers. It's like, yeah, at this point, it's like, yeah, the internet has breeded so many bad niggas. It's like, and this is a whole private internet, and this is why the fucking censorship is that shit is happening in other countries and shit too. Like, bro, oh my god, bro, but then that shit is a fucking Trojan. It's a whole lot of bad shit, y'all. I'm sure.
About this stuff so much, it seems like it's happened to so many different people and stuff that it just becomes like you just don't react the same, you know, like, because you don't, I just feel like this is something that's become more and more common, is people just don't really have empathy. Like, people just don't really care. It's like kind of emotionless. Like, I feel like the internet is kind of emotionless sometimes.
I would just assume that when you see a post talking about a child who was murdered, the comment section would be full of, oh my gosh, sending my love and prayers to the family, sending my condolences. No parent should ever have to experience this. That child had their whole future ahead of them. This is absolutely tragic. I pray the family gets the justice that they deserve, right? But no.
No. Right. This is these motherfuckers behind these goddamn PFPs. I swear to fuck, yo, they wouldn't say any of this shit with they fucking chest, face, nothing. Yeah. Oh my god, that's why I be telling her sometimes, yo, bro, I really, like, yo, truthfully, I'll be reading the comments, liking the comments, you know what I'm saying, either like I partially agree with or fully agree with or whatever, but I'm truly not giving a fuck, especially like these G-boy comments. But I'm truly not giving a fuck, because yo, a lot of these heads, they saying all this different junk, but they're not saying this junk with their face. I promise you, bro, they not saying a lot of this shit in real life.
You want to know what the comment section was full of though? Stephanie Sue, Stephanie, we need Rotten Mango on this.
That is disgusting, but it isn't surprising. And this is not Stephanie Sue's fault, but when true crime is created as like a way to just like watch it, if you know what I mean. I don't even want to say entertainment, because you shouldn't get like enjoyment off of doing it. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not surprising that people kind of view it as like a show more than they view it as like human beings. And once again,
yeah, no, and that shit sucks. And again, if like, I don't even know how I would feel on this show, because whether do I even shelve, like, y'all have to, the way I'm parsing through this, right? I can understand if some heads were mad at Stephanie Sue, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because this is not her fault. It's not like she's telling heads to go brigade people's videos to like, oh yeah, tell heads, yeah, we gotta get on this. My community needs to cover. Like, no, this is just other heads that are fans of Rotten Mango and Stephanie Sue saying, yo, she should cover this, because I'm assuming they're feeling like, yeah, she would cover this in good detail with her coverage, obviously adding her little personal flair to this, John. But like, I understand where obviously the creator of the TikTok is coming from, where it's like, yeah, no, the primary factor should be, yes, parents just lost their fucking child, bruh. This child had their whole future ahead of them. This is fucked up. Like, yo, this is the same John we were just saying about, again, I didn't even mention it, but like, yeah, the Charlie Kirk incident. It's like, bro, what the fuck, bro? And then other, like, Ted's, god damn it.
This is not all of her viewers. A lot of the people, her viewers, genuinely care and stuff, but there's always going to be that group, because she has such a massive following, that just view it as like a TV show. Like, it's unreal to them. It's not like an actual person. It's like, I'm just turning on.
Yeah, but this is just a lot of heads in general. This is why, again, one of my other things, like I was saying earlier, you can't idolize heads. You can't, like, bro, like, these heads be forgetting that, yeah, the people you're watching are still human, bro. They're not these guys. They're not these, like, people that don't go through shit. They're never, like, there's never no bad moments. They're these, like, unfazable figures. Like, nah, bro, they fucking human. Do not forget that shit in... Oh, man. No! The camera just made me human, bro. Hold on. Camera tried to take me out, bro. Hold on, he took me. No! Hold on, we got it. I gotta finish my rant. We wasn't done ranting! No! Did we fix the battery? I know. Alright, hold on. We good? Get it out. I don't know. Tough, baby. Anyway, to finish what I'm saying, yeah, you gotta... Hold on, wait. How do I do it? How do I usually do it? Yeah, like these. You take that thin line of parasociality, tear that boy in half. Have a favorite content creator. They don't fucking know you, little bro. My favorite content creator, Tekken 101, Turkish Thomas, Pope Diorio, they don't fucking know me, little bro. But guess what? I know them, and I like they fucking videos and streams, and I'm gonna keep watching them shits. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's just like that, bro. These heads be going too far with the shits. I'm trying to tell you, bro, it'd be rocking the shit out of you.
My favorite show today.
This is just one of the many comments talking about Stephanie Sue under that video. I'm showing this one because it actually pissed me off the most. What is wrong with you people? Like, genuinely. That comment section just reminded me of a TikTok I saw about a year ago that I think a lot of you crime lovers should think about before you make disgusting comments like this. Basically, the TikTok said something along the lines of me scrolling down my For You page and watching a TikToker do a get ready with me while casually telling...
I think, nah. Here's where we're already approaching this bad.
This one because it actually pissed me off the most. What is wrong with you people? Like, genuinely. That comment section just reminded me of a TikTok I saw about a year ago that I think a lot of you crime lovers should think...
I think we need to put an asterisk on this, because this is making a generalization. Not all true crime lovers are going to go ahead and do all this shit that some of these people were like doing with saying like, yo, Stephanie Sue needs to get on this. Some heads enjoy watching true crime. They listen to it while they're at work, you know what I'm saying, or in their free time, all this different type of jobs, and they respect the medium. This is just some other heads that are fucking doing internet nigga shit. Like, we gotta condemn them heads. You can't just overall condemn true crime lovers, because there are heads that, again, respect the medium and can feel the sympathy for victims in these situations. It's like, yo, we already coming from kind of a biased perspective, but maybe I'm dickieing. Alright, say no more.
Think about before you make disgusting comments like this. Basically, the TikTok said something along the lines of me scrolling down my For You page and watching a TikToker do a get ready with me while casually telling a story about how my little brother was brutally murdered.
And dumb niggas, that's a perfect example. I'm gonna condemn them motherfuckers. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm gonna condemn them. That's bad true crime content. But you know what is good true crime content? Stephanie Sue. And it is also not her fault that other heads were like brigading this other section, you know what I'm saying, comment section, whatever, saying like, oh yeah, Stephanie Sue needs to cover this. She's not telling these heads to do that. These heads are just... Hey, bro, parasociality. They over here literally going to other heads' comment sections, typing all this shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Again, y'all know my favorite creators just said them. I'm not typing all up in their chats and all that shit. Some heads comment, some heads don't. You know what it is? Like, that's just that. But still to that factor, we gotta make that separation. That content is ass. That content is dog shit. Brian Mango is not. Simply as that.
I need y'all to really sit under...
Once again, like, that's...
I will tell Hun straight to her jaw. Like, bro, that content is shit. Like, we need to see less of that. Like,
why I think that people should give Stephanie Sue a little bit more, like, love rather than hate.
Exact. Ethereal. I love it. But it's exactly what I'm saying, though. Like, this is why we need to make that separation. Some fucking, like, I'm sorry, some
Girly pop.
some girly pop doing her makeup like, yo, it's Love Hunt, I hope you look good, but this content you putting out right here, bullshittery ass, baby. It's looking like head ass. Like, oh, what are we doing? But like, oh, come on now. Like, Miss Stephanie Sue not doing that, John.
Because she at least covers it in a much more respectable manner or respectful manner, at least currently, than anyone else seems to be doing. Because once again, like, I'm always seeing these TikToks, like this girl said, of people just scrolling, like people just get ready with me or eating a mukbang while they're talking about it. And it's just like, I mean, no one really cares because it's the internet and the craziest stuff happen every day. But like, at the end of the day, that's someone's brother, that's someone's sister that you're just like making content out of and like not even putting an
That's why I keep telling heads, bro. Do not forget that people are human. Facts. Don't forget it.
Effort to talk about. Like, there's no passion. You're just doing it for some views. You're not handling it well. Like, if you're not going to handle it respectfully, then find something else to talk about. Talk about drama or something that is not very serious. Do not cover something so...
No, don't talk about drama. Don't talk about drama. No. It may get too bad. Now, let me stop playing. Nah, man. Yo, more heads are gonna come into space, bro. That's just what it is, bro. More heads are gonna see, especially with the drama slops and teas, bro. Honestly, getting into making especially drama content is the easiest shit ever, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, well, not the easiest, again, because then I would be hypocritical against my own nuanced arguments, yada yada, like this, that, and third. But like, yo, if you generally take like, not even, like maybe like a week to look into what resources you would need to start making content, like you, especially getting on OBS and stuff like that, like, bro, it's just putting in a little work, you can start making content today. But anyway, again, that just sidebars me back into, again, Miss Stephanie Sue's content is just not that level of content. Her jaunt is high quality jaunts, bro. Like, they gotta
serious if you're too lazy to actually cover it properly.
There's not many types of content that I dislike, but that type for sure, I can definitely say with my whole chest, I hate it. I'm not saying that these creators need to be crying and throwing up while they tell these stories, but something about seeing... All right, guys, do I make it with me while I tell you guys about the story of this 12-year-old girl who was...
Hun, I'm gonna look you dead in your eye and say I 100% agree with you. That is dog shit ass content. But like, Stephanie Sue is not doing that. It's like...
different men and then dismembered. What are we doing? I don't know what y'all's parents did or did not teach you, but body language and tone is everything. Hold that piece of advice with you throughout life. This is no shade to Stephanie Sue. I don't watch her content, but her fan base, y'all need to tighten up. This doesn't only apply to her fan base. This is for everyone who consumes this type of content. I don't think learning about stuff like this is bad. I actually think it's very important to be aware of this stuff, but how you talk about it and how you learn about it, very important, because
it's internet brain rot. I'm trying to tell you. Not Stephanie Sue's content, but like just how heads are on the internet. It's like, yo, they're, again, like she's funny enough about to say, so desensitized, they're forgetting that heads are humans, they're forgetting that these are like real situations going on. Like, yeah, you see it through a screen, but for somebody, this is their real life. Yeah, like, bro, heads be forgetting.
a lot of you are desensitized and don't even realize it.
I have also seen some really, really tragic situations and tragic deaths of people. And in the comment sections, Rana Mango needs to cover this. I've seen this. I'm not going to lie. There are lots of people in her fan base that are not exactly the best people alive. Once again, that she can't control them. I mean, she's being about as respectful from what I've watched as you can be. Like, once again, like, she's pretty dang respectful to the victims. But what I'm trying to say is people, once again, like, exactly like what this TikToker said, like, they're so desensitized from, like, scrolling through their For You page and hearing about the most horrific events that they don't even realize how insensitive they're being. Like, genuinely, it's hard to imagine what it's like being related or being friends or being married to someone who dies in a very, very awful, tragic way, and then hearing people talk about it in the most insensitive way. But
I'm telling you, this is literally the Charlie Kirk situation, bro. This shit, bro, what the fuck, bro? This shit is so weird, bro.
It's like,
again, rest in peace, bro. And like, has gotta show love to his family because they're fucking celebrating this. That shit is triggering. Again, an innocent family lost their father and husband. That shit is crazy. But yeah,
any situation where someone died or something happened to someone in a tragic way, and then you hear someone uneducated talking about it, that's kind of what it must feel like. Because I can't say I've had someone around me murdered or any of that happened to them in the worst possible way. I can't say that because that hasn't happened to me. But I can understand for sure how awful it must feel to some extent to hear people who have no idea what you've gone through just be like, get ready with me while I talk about the violent grape situation of it.
TikTok was a fucking curse to this world.
a 12-year-old girl who was then pew-pewed and then dumped into a trash can and then carried away. Like, I don't even want to think about how horrible that would be to have some, like, imagine your sister and then you just hear some pathetic person talking like that. Like, I can't even imagine the pain. So I fully agree with this girl. I think this take is great because, once again, people take it really personally. They're like, I'm just listening to Rotten Mango, you jerk. No, it's not really Rotten Mango. It's not the podcast's fault. It's more of just people that have been desensitized.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's the whole separation argument I was making, to where it's like, yeah, these heads, again, Miss Stephanie Sue, she's not telling heads to go brigade people like on these other, like, you know what I'm saying, like videos and all this type of jazz. So on that initial front, like, that's not her fault. Like, this is just how some heads, again, in the community are. They're just desensitized. Fuck, this internet brain rot goes like that. To them heads, yes, they gotta specifically tighten up, because, again, too, there are people that are fans of Stephanie Sue that are not so desensitized. They love watching the content, but they also understand and can sympathize with the victims of the content as well, like I was saying a little bit earlier. So yeah, you just gotta, yeah, the internet brain rot bulls, like, yo, these fools gotta tighten up. But I'm gonna be for real with y'all, they never freaking will, because yeah, we are in a brain rot society now, and it's only getting worse. Do you not see the AIs and shit? Oh my god, la robot be bad, la robot Skynet take over world.
I've seen videos before of people trying to speak on how a lot of consumers of this content are desensitized towards it, and of course they're in the comment section, no we're not, no we're not. Like I said before, I'm not saying that when you watch these videos you need to be crying and throwing up, no, but I will say actions speak louder than words, but in y'all's case the actions and words are loudest. One thing I hate is
facts. That is actually facts.
Having to make up scenarios for people to have some empathy, but bro, imagine if it was your mom,
nah, really spitting right now.
Your dad, one of your siblings, your best friend who went through something absolutely traumatic, and you have a bunch of randoms on the internet saying how they can't wait till some YouTuber talks about it as if it's tea. Imagine scrolling on your For You page and seeing a damn TikToker doing a get ready with me.
See, now, I could totally understand this factor. Yo, this is what heads do with drama. Like, yo, heads literally do this with Trilly with some of these dramas. Yo, whenever we cover Yoko Soy Dolls, anything with H3 or whatever, yo, they can't wait for it to cover it. But this is just like dramas, whatever. Like, these situations, some of these Johns at the very least, you know. And we get into the, you know, EHDIA plus cinematic universe, and then we get to the full CBS skulls, human skulls. Yeah, now we gotta tighten up. Now we gotta tighten up. But for the most part, that Jones is drama. But like, yeah, when you're doing some of the true crime Jones, yes, I can understand how that gets mixy. Like, I could definitely understand that, John. But then again, like, we can't just generalize all heads to be like that. It's just a certain subsection of these heads that are way too desensitized and brain rotted.
A makeup tutorial, a mukbang, just casually speaking about how someone close to you, someone that you know personally went through a traumatic experience as if it's just some book. You wouldn't like that. You would be furious, and rightfully so.
And the worst, and once again, this is not Stephanie Sue's fault at all, or
that's what I'm saying,
Mr. Ballin, or any of the people, unless they actively encourage it, which they don't. I've watched the
literally, that's why I said, like, tell their audience to brigade people and or encourage this, which they definitely do not do that. Like,
but the people that go in the comment sections, and unless it's plainly obvious, they just, why didn't the dad do more? Why didn't the mom see more? Like, they pretend like if they were in the same situation, they know exactly what to do, and that this awful death is on this person. Like, it's kind of disgusting, because unless that person genuinely did something terrible, I've seen this so much, the victim blaming, people that are likely victims in the situation get blamed for not doing enough, and it's like, you weren't in the situation. How dare you disrespect these people that you don't.
And this is like, that's where it goes, like, on so many levels too, where it's like,
fuck it, I'm saying it,
Mr. Forensics, or it didn't happen, Piker is where he boxed himself up to. Again, obviously within situations, if we're looking at an overall, especially when we're going to something like the Diddy case, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I think it's looking more likely on the factor of evidence and all that type of stuff that, yeah, he probably big bad guy than, like, not being, and that the victims are, like, lying on all this different type of jazz. But that's why, especially when allegations and stuff like that are levied, what does Trilly say all the time? Substantial proof, all the different type of jobs, because obviously having more merit to what you're showing in the overall end would show that the person you are levying these allegations against or whatever needs to be brought to justice, would definitely need to be condemned, especially if that person is P. Diddy Dizzler.
Even know, stop acting like this is a drama. Like, it's a real life scenario, and what you're saying is so disgusting. And I see this so often, so normalized, to act like these people would somehow have taken the better, who somehow would have known what was going on. It's like, okay, it just annoys me so much.
Keep that same energy when it comes to these victims, whether they're dead or alive. Watch how you talk about them. You should not be rejoicing because another person went through something so tragic, something so horrible that you couldn't even bring yourself to wish it on the worst person you know. You shouldn't be happy that someone went through that because you'll finally have something to watch while you eat. You'll finally have some background noise while you cook or clean. I feel like when it comes to these tragic cases, a great way to not be desensitized towards it is to do your own research. The amount of times I've seen someone post literal articles about a tragic case in the comment sections full of, oh my gosh, I can't wait till my fave talks about this. I can't wait till such and such makes a video about this. I need that video. That's funny. I had no idea they were a lawyer on this case. I didn't know they were a detective on the scene. Why are you waiting for them? These cases y'all be so happy for are public information. These court documents, public information. A lot of times families of the victim.
Well, for that most part, it's because usually these creators like condense it all down so where it's like more consumable and easier to like convey that information to you. So just on that factor, but I do still agree with Hunter overall. Like some of these heads are too desensitized and all that shit, and like, oh, it's like, yo, go now.
Or the victim themselves, if you know they're still.
But still to that, yeah, nah, this wouldn't be Stephanie Sue's fault. Like, again, her content, her coverage of like, you know what I'm saying, true crime and things and such like that is still top tier. She does her best, at least in Triller's opinion, of seeing like, you know what I'm saying, what I've seen of Miss Rodmaker, like to keep it P, keep her respectful now, like, you know what I'm saying, obviously get the most facts and evidence that she can.
Live and consent.
It's just these bulls. More internet G-boy bulls.
To it, do interviews, go read them.
So that's why this video ended, and once again, I think this TikToker literally stated it perfectly. Like, once again, it's not always the person, at least currently, it's more of the audience, and it just is going to be an increasing problem for sure in the future, because it's just like the endless scrolling on your For You page, and hearing
that's literally what I was saying earlier. I'm like, this John is only gonna get worse because like algorithms and shit is only gonna get more like refined, and like, yo, people are really gonna only be getting the content that is truly spiking the shit out their dopamine. They never gonna get off TikTok, Twitter, all this shit. They go YouTube Shorts too, IG Reel. They never gonna get off this junk. Everybody gonna be consumed by the internet. They really are right now. I don't know why I'm talking hypocritical. We on the slobs. It's like tough.
Terrible things that, like, sometimes it's hard to even fathom how this could happen, and especially if it's never happened or something like it has never happened to you. It's easy to just treat it like it's some sort of TV show, but at the end of the day, it's not. Like, there's real people involved, and like she said, they're likely alive. They're very, very likely alive, or people at least related to them are likely alive. So just be a little bit respectful. It's not that hard.
So basically what I'm getting from all this online drama and all this crap is that y'all would rather cancel Stephanie Sue, who's unproblematic, than James Charles. Y'all would.
That's an even better point, funny enough. That's a great point. Yo, can we talk more about that?
Rather try to run her off the internet than run James Charles off the face of the earth.
Yo, we're fucking spitting, bro. Yo, this is gas, bro. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. James. Nah, yo, we spitting right now. I'm like, hold on, bruh. We're actually cooking, yo. Hold on. Yo.
I don't know how you got racism from her twirling around the courthouse.
I don't know either. Nah, Hun is really spitting though, because I don't know where the fuck. Again, misogyny noir, where the fuck are we getting this? Anti-black, where the fuck are you getting this?
Eating a mushy PB&J sandwich and saying that she just finished taking notes on an 8-hour trial and she might be back for more.
You know what's so funny? Again, I fucking hate idpol. I fucking hate identity politics and bring any of that shit up. But you know what's so funny about this? Like, well, besides the one Hun that was in the beginning of the video, like, calling Stephanie Sue out for this. Last time I checked, I was melanated, and so was Hun. The people calling people out for this on her being anti-black are black people. Shit don't make any damn sense. Again, except for the one Hun in the beginning. Like, just to show I'm not lying. Where we at? 3405? Where is she at? Nah, this Hun, where'd she go? Yeah, this Hun right here. You were saying, yeah, she's perpetuating Missy Noir, and then, you know what I'm saying, trauma towards victims, which I'm going to go ahead and say I disagree again. Anyway, but yeah. Hold on, 34. Yep.
More. And on top of that, y'all are on Twitter defending Diddy.
Yeah, those niggas could stay where the fuck they're at. Like, you, bruh. I'm gonna tell you right now, you even say any manner of positive regard, you can get the fuck out of here. I will not be accepting your ass here. No way in hell.
That is embarrassing.
Agreed.
That is embarrassing. Y'all did the
Agreed.
Same shit Kelly and Aaliyah. Y'all defended R. Kelly when someone said something small about that man.
Is this a safe space to say I hate Twitter? I just hate
Absolutely every time, girly pop.
Girly pop.
Twitter is a fucking cesspool, and the only reason I got that shit is because fucking Yeet posts on that shit, and so does Bub Dioria, so I gotta see what bullshittery happens. Also, Yoko likes to spurg out on there, so yeah, we kind of need it for that too. Other than that, yeah, they might as well get rid of that shit. That shit, like, that fucking platform is, like, that platform, Reddit, like, that shit is, like, purely, like, I don't even know how to, like, explain to y'all, like, how, like, literally, like, part of the world's population is having their fucking minds melting out of their ears because of these platforms. And it doesn't even matter what niche you want to talk about, whether it be politics, boy, that shit, bro, their minds may as well just be in puddles on the fucking pavement, bro, with politics. That shit is insane, bro. Anything, it's so bad, bro. It is. Nah, I'm telling you, it's a cesspool, bro. It only gets worse.
It's so much because there's no room for actual discussions. They'll just take some out of context screenshot of someone.
Every time. Every clip is clip chipped out of context. Every shit is just some bullshit, straight lies. Yo, this shit is bad, bro. And again, like, they got shit like VO3, the AIs and shit getting better. Bro, oh my fucking God. Bro, yo, this shit is really only good. I'm not trying to black pill it, doomer it, but, like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, nah, we gotta put out positive vibes. Yeah, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
And then just say, like, this person is so blah blah blah, and then it'll get 17 million views, and then their reputation is destroyed.
Yep. No, that's the average day on Twitter. Now, better yet, that's the average hour on Twitter.
A similar thing happened with Stephanie Sue. I wouldn't say it destroyed her reputation, but it did cause a lot of the hate she got specifically for the case. I hate it so much. Like, genuinely, the people that constantly tweet stuff like this annoy me so much because it's like the number one way to spread misinformation. Like, I know there's community notes, but half the time they aren't even, like, made. Like, half the time there's something blatantly false and they are not applied. And it's just, I hate that app.
What the hell is wrong with y'all? Do y'all
I'm asking the same question on.
take showers? Do you go outside?
Apparently not.
Like,
oh, wait, I know a nigga who definitely doesn't take showers.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
Some of y'all are just chronically online that I can tell that you smell like 10 cans of bust that ass. Because
Ooh, not the 10 cans of bounce that ass.
There's no reason for you to try to cancel Stephanie Sue because she said that 60-second clip. And the only thing she did was compare him to a koala. And Diddy looks like a koala. I don't know what y'all talking about. That's not racism. He looked...
Man, I don't give a fuck, bro. Diddy looks like he had 1,000 bottles of fucking baby oil in his closet. Not guilty on any of the major charges? Sure. Okay. Sure.
It's like his hair is literally gray. She compared his hair to a koala. And y'all said that she was being disrespectful to the victims, but the victims weren't even in the courtroom. They don't testify until 2 days after or a day after.
That's Twitter for you, for sure. Like, that's kind of Twitter. I mean,
I fucking hate that app.
To some extent, once again, I can see why people are paranoid. I'm not defending all the Twitter warriors. I hate every last one. I hate all of you people that run Twitter accounts dedicated to just screenshotting people out of context. But I can see, like, the girl we watched earlier, like, her take wasn't the worst thing ever. I can definitely see her perspective, but
her take, the girl that popped earlier with the glasses, her take was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Her take wasn't too bad. The only thing I would just say for her is that, yeah, she just has to distinguish, like, out of, like, people that like true crime, the people that do this shit, like, you know, obviously, like, the example being that Stephanie Sue has or whatever. Stephanie Sue kind of covered this. Those heads being desensitized, and the people that watch the content, they consume it, and, like, they're normal. They don't do none of that shit. They just consume the content, they like it, keep pushing on with their day. They feel sympathy, they feel empathy, all the type of beat, you know what I mean?
I do disagree with it and the people on Twitter, mainly because, once again, like, it was probably just like, wow, I've seen this incredibly infamous...
Oh, also on the part, like, yeah, obviously, Stephanie Sue, it wasn't telling heads to, like, brigade these people, like, you know, telling heads to go comment on, like, stuff like
this dude that, like, everyone's been talking about for years. I just saw him for 8 hours. I was taking notes. Like, she probably wanted to share so much, and she did it super quickly that it made her seem just so excited, and, like, it just made her seem like she wasn't handling it the way she should have. That's what I think. I definitely don't think she was at least trying to be any form of disrespectful. It was just, that's the way she narrates. She narrates stuff like that, and I guess a really short clip is going to cause people to get mad, but she narrates like that. It's not to be disrespectful. It's just, like, her style of narration.
Of course.
It's where is Stephanie? So, from Rotten Mangoes, this is serious. Her fans are worried from her her. She has not updated her page in 8 days. Somebody said that she updated her Spotify podcast, but a lot of her fans are worried about her. As I reported, I talked to one of Diddy's good friends about did Diddy mouth to Stephanie, "I know you."
I was about to say, why ain't nobody bringing this up though? Like, and I said it earlier and I kept it shut because they would have said I was dickieing. But let's talk about this though. They want to say that, bro, she's being anti-black. She's perpetuating her John to the victims. What about Diddy mouthing his John up to her? What about all the weird stuff that was happening with her and her team? Like, bro, y'all don't want to talk about nothing. Y'all just, bro, them heads just fucking biased, bro. They know this shit, bro. Like, I'm telling you, it's every time.
Maybe he just said something like, "I like soju." I don't know, but she thought something was going on, but her fans are worried. And I am frankly worried too, because I have seen some of the other Rotten Mango ladies in there. I believe a woman named Tiffany that I've met. By the way, they all dress to the T's. They look good. They always...
To the nines, baby. To the nines, baby.
Have like the top designer stuff on every morning.
I don't know what this dude is talking about in the last few seconds that we just saw, but I wanted to add on his narration of her getting threatened or supposedly getting threatened in court because I thought it was an important detail. If this really did happen and she is kind of getting threatened by Diddy in court and stuff, it just kind of shows that, like, maybe she's in it, hot take guys, maybe she's in it for a little bit more than just clout and money. Like, Twitter...
But again, they not gonna talk about that shit.
Has made it out to be. Like, genuinely, like, once again, like, sure, it will get a lot of views to be in court, and it kind of is, like, a special opportunity, and most people would have taken it, but then again, like, she took a ton of notes, she definitely did her research, and her team did their research like they do with most cases, where they actually do a bunch of the time reach out to the victims and stuff, and I do believe that she was definitely in it, and she was in it in the right way.
John Combs sits down at his chair and he turns in his chair to the right. This is our eye
Spill Sash. I remember watching her vid.
direction. Like, we can see him now. He starts staring in what felt like in our general direction, or perhaps right behind us, and it's a pretty lengthy stare. And then he starts nodding while mouthing the words dramatically, "I know you." He mouths it twice.
Over there. Nah, you don't know shit.
With what we perceive to be a smirk. Then as he's turning back around to face the front, he's like ever so slightly shaking his head while he's still smirking. But again, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I don't know if he was looking at me. He could have been looking behind me, right? But then right at that moment, the jury comes in, we all stand up, and as there's noise in the courtroom, because we're not allowed to talk when the judge is on the bench, a reporter from a major media network, I mean, she's been doing this for years and years. She's like a professional. She turns to me and she whispers, quote, "You're putting that in your video, right?" Because that was at least 7 seconds. So my researcher and I, we both felt it was weird. We both wrote it down independently in our notes in the courtroom. We talked about it after, and we're like, you know what? We can't be sure. We don't want to be dramatic.
I feel like people kind of moved on from this specific situation a little bit too quickly, because this is...
That's what I'm sick, bro. They shit. That's crazy. But I would have been the nigga dicking if I would have brought this shit up first.
It's kind of crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, like, whether we like it or not in society, there's always going to be true crime content, mainly because it does get a lot of views. Like...
Trilly yaps everything, Trilly repeats himself, but told has, bro. No matter what, at the end of the day, like, these heads, again, just going back to that first argument of, like, yo, there's no such thing as ethical true crime content. Well, sorry to tell you again. Too bad. Because the content already exists and will continue to. What we need to break down and criticize, again, is kind of people who cover the content badly, who aren't sticking to the facts, who aren't obviously doing good coverage or being disingenuous, all this type of beat. And to that, once more, that is not the Miss Stephanie Sue. So, yeah.
It's something people are interested in listening to, and not always for the best reasons, but sometimes people just want to be informed for safety reasons, or just in general be informed about situations and awful things that took place. So it's better to at least realize who the people that seem to be in it and seem to do it respectfully and well researched. It seems like we should not shove those people down, because, I mean, they're the best people we've got for this.
And then it happened again, you guys. He looked in her direction again and mouthed, "I know you."
And it happens again on Friday, a week later. So on Friday, there's this moment where there's a sidebar. Sean Combs' attorneys are near the front of the courtroom with the judge. And regardless, the jurors are still sitting on the side. Sean Combs turns around and then he talks to his mom. And then he's smiling, nodding at her. He's like mouthing, "I love you." And then my neck is tilted still because I'm observing him and I'm taking notes about him talking to his mom during this sidebar. And as he's making his turn back to the front, it felt like we make awkward eye contact. And I say awkward to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's so awkward. You almost like instinctively smile or look down because you're like, oh, I just got caught staring at someone. That was the feeling. It was like, oh, I literally just got caught.
Said,
staring him down, and he starts rubbing his chin with his left hand and mouths what appears to seem like, I know you, I know you. And this time it seemed more pronounced because as he's rubbing his chin with his left hand, he does like a slight index point. It's not like a point, he's not pointing his finger, but it's kind of like a hand gesture, like I know you, like kind of like you.
People were getting freaked out for Stephanie. I mean, especially because it wasn't even just her that had seemed to see.
Nah, cause that shit, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Not with fucking Diddy, bro. This nigga, that ass is an Arkham villain, bro. We needed this nigga's a Batman level threat. Like, hell nah, bro. In no way, no regard.
This or pick up on this. It was her team as well.
And Stephanie is willing to take risks with her videos. I feel like this, I mean, it's not much of an understatement to say she's kind of taking a risk.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. This nigga is a Batman level threat, bro. He is on the level of Joker, bro. Like, nah, there ain't no, like, there's literally, there is no such thing as not taking precautions and shit, bro. Like,
About this after that happened twice. But I don't even feel like I need to name the specific topics. But if you watch her, you know what I mean. Like, she sometimes covers stuff that it's like, ooh, I'd be a little bit scared to cover those topics. Those are some scary people. That's a scary group. It's like, sometimes it's kind of like, dang, like she's willing to take some risks for her content. And if you're just in it for the money, you do basically no research usually. You're very disrespectful, and I feel like you don't even need to name the commentator.
yeah, if you're just doing it for cheats, you would do content that you can just it's reproducible the most, which would not be this Diddy trial content, considering, again, 8 hours, 79 pages of notes. Yay, not just anybody doing this shit.
And TikTokers.
And even, that's actually a fact, because that's another point they try to use against her. Well, she's not really a journalist. How does she even get in? Well, they seen her work, thought, hey man, you look like you could produce some pretty good journalism, and let her inside. So no matter if you think she's a journalist or not, her content is really good. In my personal opinion, I guess I gotta keep saying that shit. And no matter if you think she's a journalist or not, she was let inside to do coverage. Like, bro, they just gonna keep complaining about Jones that already went by and happened. Like,
do that because most of us know by now. Like, I remember watching some TikToker dude he likes to cover a lot of like random awful things that happen to people, and he was liking comments basically supporting the death because this guy was like allegedly a Democrat or something, and it was like, oh, okay, I'm not watching you anymore. And yeah, it's just going to become a growing problem, and we're going to have to face it that this content's always going to exist. Sure, I can 100% understand, like, I'm not going to pretend like the Redditors had no right under my video to say there's no such thing as ethical true crime. I can totally understand that perspective. Like, 100%, you 150% have a right to have that opinion, but in my opinion, like, it's always going to exist, so why?
See, but then that manner is like, okay, like, what, okay, no, you know what? You know how you get down to this? If someone says to you that, yeah, like, or at least the way I interpret this, if someone were to say to me, okay, there's no such thing as ethical true crime, you gotta explain to me, like, what that would mean. Like, better yet, not even explain, my question back to them would be, okay, well then what would be your example to the best of your ability that you can, like, describe as ethical true crime, like, covering it? Wait, what would that be? Are we saying the news and shit? Because I'm gonna give it a buck with you, man. The news be fucking up a lot of shit, especially recently in current times. So I wouldn't say that. And you want to say YouTubers and shit don't be having the right Johns? I mean, like, sure, again, as are just YouTubers. But then again, it's like, if the news, that's the mainstream shit, is supposed to be like the ones with the top most credibility, they're the ones with the serious professions, and they're getting bullshittery wrong. It's like, who? That's why it always leads back to, I like what I like. That's why it really always leads back to. But obviously within like what you like, try to get the facts, be objective. Yeah, like, you know it is.
I focus your hate on the person that does it much better than the majority of people do it.
They drag Camellia out of the car, throw her onto the floor, and they make the next 5 hours a living hell. They throw ice cream on the ground. Clean it up. Use your hands. If she misses a spot, a high-heeled shoe would lift up from the ground and smash into her rib. One of the high schoolers took Camelia's phone and started smashing it into pieces in front of her on the ground, stomping her heels into it. Another girl kicked her in the back of the knees so that she was kneeling in front of them. And Helen laughed. But of course, in the beginning, Helen didn't even lift a finger. She just stood there, arms folded across her chest, literally, like Queen of the Flies.
And if you think my videos are unprofessional, I've heard, and like slop, definition of slop and stuff, that's okay.
Oh my god. Yo, slop has gone so far, bro. Holy crap. Like, yo, this word has gone so extremely far. But yeah, sure. Commentary, drama, slop, tease. Hey man, I keep telling heads, I am a fucking slop tuber, and I am not ashamed of that shit.
You can think that, but I cover
the slop, because like what I say at the end of the day is always gonna be the same. Y'all see this shit I'm doing right here? Reacting, looking like a fucking idiot, dumbass, saying all this shit, opinions and conjecture, yada yada. It's all the same shit I was normally doing. Yelling at my fucking screen because some heads, you know, be making me crash out. All this. yeah, this is what I was doing just with a camera not on. I just decided to put a camera on, and now we're gonna try to get the boss a 5 bed, 5 bath, or not try. It's gonna be a reality. Stamp it in. But yeah. So if that's slop, it's slop. Sloppy! I'm a slop tuber then. Hey man, I'm having fun. Are you watching it, y'all? Hope you are. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to love the audience again. It's love, baby. But like, yeah, I be telling heads all the time, like, bro, if the John is slop, okay. I just having fun making it vids. Covering the drama slops tees. I don't like, this heads want me to, this is a, you know what it is? It's another thing of like, yo, these heads will like place you on a pedestal that you never placed yourself on. Like heads will, like, this is what a lot of, oh my fucking god, bro, this is what a lot of Hassan G boys do. They think since they're fucking King Zaddy God,
Fuck it, I'm saying
you know what
it.
I'm saying? They think since that dumbass nigga calls himself a political commentator, that now because I criticize that nigga, I'm a political commentator. I don't know where the fuck they're getting this shit from. I'm a slob tuber who's calling that nigga a dumbass. Like, you know, like, I don't know where, like, yo, see, this is the thing. I'm like, stop. This, you know, that's another thing, funny enough, with the theme lines of parasociality, too, with the gods thing of people admire people like gods and not religion or human. Bruh, make the separation. Stop putting people on pedestals they never put themselves on. Like, you're doing a lot.
Drama. If I were to start covering true crime, which I've always considered, but I haven't yet, and I don't know if I ever will, because I don't know if I would be as good of a researcher as like other
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm never doing true crime.
bigger commentators, and I just don't want the guilt of messing up some fact or just saying something stupid. I feel like you just have to be a really, really, really good researcher, and you have to be super, super respectful, and I just don't know if I would be ready for that. So, as you can see with this video specifically, like, the detail, you don't feel like you're watching a drama video. Like, with me, it's okay that I sometimes talk randomly, and I say some random things, and it's not like 100% perfectly edited. It's okay because I'm covering drama slop, like I'm covering
drama slops and tea, baby. Like, I'm telling you,
random situations and dramas between YouTubers. But when you're covering the bully, someone who got bullied, or someone that had the worst thing happen to them, you can't make those mistakes. Like, to your millions and millions of audience members, you just cannot afford to make those type of mistakes. And that's what makes her so good. That is exactly why it is so problematic when so many YouTubers that make perfectly fine or even great drama YouTube videos step into true crime because they see it as profitable. That's why it's become such a problem, because they don't know how to handle the situations with respect. Like, dare I say her name, this one huge YouTuber, which I mentioned earlier in this video, has started to make true crime videos, and she just cannot do it correctly. She will just joke for 3 minutes about her hair and about how she's feeling. How you doing, my audience, and stuff, and just like, this is not how you handle true crime. And it's just,
it just makes me think of something
terrible. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, there's even the girl I talked about last video, like, one of the reasons why she was so bad at handling it was because she didn't research well, because she was what she was used to was covering drama videos. Like, it's okay to start out doing drama, or Stephanie Sue do drama on the side, but you need to handle true crime completely differently, because
yeah, like, that's John's a whole different beast, a whole different animal. Like, yo, you're attacking this boy like from a whole different angle and all this type of jazz. Like, obviously there is like very well researched like drama video essays on certain people and like certain situations, all that type of jazz. But even still to that, I feel like on a base level with true crime, like, that's kind of the levels you gotta like start out with, you know what I mean? Like, not even a lot. Like, obviously, even to that, like, even if you start off doing, like, you know, like I was saying earlier, like the Reddit stories and stuff like that, and then obviously over time you're making more and more of these videos, you're improving the content, though, the quality's going up, you're sticking more to the facts. Like, that's good, like, growth in it, John. But obviously going into true crime initially, you'd probably just, yeah, you'd want to start off with pretty good memes, pretty good quality, definitely facts, again, substantial Johns, off a basis. Yep, stamped in.
Is something that is much more serious. Like, it is literal. There are families, there are people, there are, like, you have to handle it so much different. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the situations I cover are very serious, but it's just a different level of seriousness when it's true crime. And I remember someone, because I criticized some girl in the last video about Stephanie Sue, not Stephanie Sue, it was some other girl at the beginning. I remember one of my comments was, well, you couldn't make true crime, so stop complaining about it. And I replied, exactly.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm not making it, because I know, right, and maybe in the future when I...
No, did I say I was gonna make true crime vids? No. Does that mean I can't give my opinion on them? No. The fuck?
Like, have time to research and actually be respectful, maybe I will consider it. Who knows? But it would take so much time, because I just do not want to do it wrong. It would make me so sad if I got some fact wrong, or misgendered someone, or did something awful when I covered it, which so many people do. I was like, exactly. Like, there's a reason why I'm not covering it, especially right now, because I don't want to disrespect families. I don't want to disrespect the victim. Like, thanks for proving my point.
Don't even worry about it, hun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Huh, Miss Coco's crazy. You don't even gotta cover that, Jazz. Honestly, stay in the lane that you are comfortable with. Obviously, with content over time, you want to be more creative. You don't want to innovate and all that type of beat. But what, you know what I'm saying, the format that Hun has now is working for her pretty good. So, obviously, being on that, like the boss lady be saying all the time, and a bunch of boss ladies be saying this, yo, old heads or whatever, even though I'm supposed to be on status. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stamp it in. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And the worst part is you really can't do anything about it. Like, if you know someone who fell victim to something absolutely awful and you just hear people profiting off of it in the worst possible way, like, what do you even do about it? Like, you just have to sit back and watch people use your brother, use your sister, use your dad, use their mom for just, like, views and not care about it. That was just, in words, I can't describe how awful that was feeling. And once again, the victim blaming that is done, like, the sister should have done more. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. It's definitely a messy place, so I hope it gets better, especially the audiences and stuff. So I'm not going to lie, like, some of these criticisms were valid, but my point to summarize this video, pretty much to get to the bottom of it.
I pretty much agree. Like, some criticisms were valid, others definitely were not. It weren't substantiated.
Of it is that, like, it's not going away. I can understand if you don't like it, it's not going away, but some people are doing a lot better jobs than others, like Stephanie Sue, so it's best to try to criticize the people that actually deserve it, more than the person who has improved herself, and not hold her to her mistakes in the past, which she has fully improved from.
You already know, baby. Shout out to the love with the Hun, Miss Coco, Bud, Miss Coco's crazy.
Bomboclad!
Oh, wrong one. Bomboclad Trilly. Never beaten the dumbass allegations. Facts! Share the love, baby. We got the disgusting Stephanie Sue situation. Of course, if you guys would like to watch the OG video without the Trilly yap, because as we can see, Trilly does indeed yap everything. I know. But you already know. Again, I share the love with the Hun, Miss Coco, Bud. Final opinions and conjecture. Yeah, pretty much I agree. Like, there was a good amount of things in that video that I pretty much agree with on a general basis. Obviously, heads shouldn't let true crime content and things and such like that truly desensitize them and brain rot them to the factor where they can't understand that heads are human and these are real life situations that people have gone through, and feel the sympathy for these people and their families and such like that. But also the factor of, like, heads like Stephanie Sue, one, I feel as though cannot be criticized on the basis of her content not being good, because that's bullshittery. She's one of the best, like, you know what I'm saying, true crime podcasts, you know what I'm saying, on the planet. Like, not even, like, that's not even a joke, but let alone just, like, on YouTube itself. On that type of beat. But also, like, yeah, the one, you know what I'm saying, Hun saying that she was, bro, like, perpetuating what's the name, misogyny noir or whatever, or perpetuating the trauma of the victims. Like, yeah, I totally disagree with that too. Like, again, especially if their only example, which a ton of them only example was that one Instagram reel where she was eating a Crustable or an Uncrustable. Like, that shit, I'm sorry, y'all, that's a nothing burger. Like, yo, she sat in the courtroom for 8 hours, high tension situation, took 79 pages of notes, made a bunch of good, obviously, you know what I'm saying, videos on this junk, covering the whole topic extensively. It's like, that one fucking Instagram reel is nothing. Y'all turning that shit into something it's definitely not. But at least that's just in Truly's opinion. But other than all that, once more, shout out to love with the Hun, Miss Coco's crazy, and I'll be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.
Thank you.